afternoon, and welcome back to the 2024 Great Texas Air Show. I'm your host, Lieutenant Faith Powers, joined by Mr. Logan Still, and we're spending this afternoon talking all things Thunderbirds.
Now, we've had an action-packed day so far, and we're keeping this train rolling. We're starting the show with Thunderbirds. We're ending the show with Thunderbirds. Let's get a quick teaser at what to expect in the next 2 hours. We have with us Staff Sergeant Brianna Clem from the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. Thank you so much for joining us today, ma'am.
You're welcome. Good morning, everybody, and thanks for having me here today.
We're so excited to have you here, especially me and Logan, since we're both in the public affairs career.
Yes.
And we're so happy to have another public affairs person here.
Yeah,
so for those who maybe don't know much about public affairs, can you explain a little bit about your roles and responsibilities specifically on the Thunderbirds team?
Absolutely. So my role specifically on the Thunderbirds, I'm the NCOIC of Command Information, so I run the team's social media. I help guide our messaging to the American population and bridge that communication barrier with the public. One of the cool things specifically about being PA with the Thunderbirds is I'm one of the aerial photographers as well. So I do get to fly backseat in the jet occasionally and take all those cool aerial shots as well. So,
oh my gosh, Did your stomach ever drop while you're back there doing that?
My first time, yes. I was very nervous. You can ask Thunderbird 7. I was freaking out, screaming the whole time, but it's a blast.
Nice.
So everyone sees the pilots, and we all know that a lot of preparation goes into that. What does preparation look like for you as the public affairs officer for the Thunderbirds?
Yeah, great question. So it's a constant work. It is a lot of work and preparation. Even if we're at a show, we are prepping for the next 5 or 6 shows in advance for that. So it's 24/7 work, even on our down days or whatnot. We're constantly working, preparing for the next show and messaging, creating our messaging to form with like America's messaging. So.
Yeah, and so how is this assignment different than any other assignments or units that you've been at?
It's definitely a lot busier, a lot more responsibility. Our platform is pretty large, as you can tell, so it's a lot of responsibility on my part, just as a staff sergeant, being able to communicate that with the public professionally and clearly. But then it's also a great opportunity. We're on the road about 300 days out of the year, traveling with the team, showcasing what we do to the American population and just around the world. So it's busy, but it's 100% worth it.
Yeah.
No, so you said you're often on the move 300 days out of the year. What does that schedule look like, and how do you manage to make so many meaningful connections along the way?
Oh, yeah, great question as well. So typically what our week looks like on the road is Tuesday is kind of like our work and admin day. Wednesday we have a packing day. Thursday we pick up shop and leave and go to that location. We also have a practice that same day at the location. Friday we'll do like a hometown hero flight, more practices. Saturday, Sunday show. Monday we'll pack it up, go home, rinse and repeat. So making time, it's usually on like at night or early in the mornings is when I make time for that. Constantly prepping for those types of things. So yeah.
Well, you talked about doing aerial photography, which is very cool experience. Do you have any other cool experiences or something that's your favorite memory so far?
I think just traveling and meeting like the public at the air show. It's really cool, especially in this job where we're the face of the Air Force and the Thunderbirds and America as well. Air power. It's just a very humbling opportunity to meet people that are so proud of you and what you do, even though I don't feel that. So it's very humbling. And I think that's my favorite part, is just interacting with the crowd every day.
Well, it's very clear that you're passionate about your job, and we very much appreciate you being here and talking to us about it. And is there anything else that you want to tell the people coming out to see yourself here today?
No, I just want to say everyone have a great time. Hopefully we'll get in a high show today with the weather pending. But thanks everyone for coming out, supporting us and the Air Force and everyone else here too.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited to have you. Thank you for coming out today.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Well, we're so happy that we had a Thunderbirds team talk to us today, and we're so excited that you're going to be able to see them later on today, flying and doing all their cool stunts. And so we hope that you guys enjoy the show that we're going to be broadcasting right here at Joint Base San Antonio-Randolph on our Facebook. So stay tuned for all of that.
And
Well, it's been a full day, and that's for sure. We've had a great time seeing you all come out and enjoy what we have to offer here at Joint Base San Antonio-Randolph. It's always a great show, and it's always great to show what service looks like in action.
I couldn't agree more. I think for us it becomes very commonplace to see it all, but it's so cool to see all these folks experience this up close and personal for the first time with all of our service members and all of the great vendors, static displays, and aerial acts over the course of the whole weekend. Now, we're here now with U.S. Air Force recruiters Master Sergeant Jamathan George and Technical Sergeant Takesha McDuffie. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Greatly appreciate it.
We're so excited to have y'all. And so both of you are Air Force recruiters, correct? And so what does that look like for you two? Do you work together? Is there a little bit of competition that you have between each other ever?
So as far as competition goes, not really. I do more so of the operations side, where she's more so on the marketing side. So it's more so we work together hand in hand to make sure we're properly executing the mission, pushing the Air Force recruiting service forward to make sure we are making that connection with the general population.
Mm-hmm. And now, I understand that you both are married, right?
Correct.
It's not every day that you see a married couple with the same job, least of all in the Air Force in recruiting. So was one of you a recruiter first and influenced the other? How did that happen?
Yes. So my husband he came into recruiting first. And through my husband, I became very inspired to be a recruiter. The way he cared for people, the way he cared for their careers. I was a prior social worker before going active duty. So therefore, I knew that I can take those skill sets and bring it into recruiting. Because the one thing that I know about the world that we live in, people love to feel valued. So if you bring that to the career field, you're going to be able to continue to walk in your purpose. So that's something that I was able to bring into the career field and learn from my husband.
Well, recruiting is very important to the mission, as we know. And so what has been one of the most rewarding experience for each of you?
For me, the most rewarding experience is just being able to see those recruits go off to basic training and actually transform. Mm-hmm. When they come back from basic military training, whether or not we're talking 7.5 weeks, it's a totally different person that you've seen, and just the growth. And sometimes when they leave, they have that slight doubt, and then when they come back, you see something totally different. So it's definitely a phenomenal thing to see, and their families that are very proud as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I concur exactly what he said. You get to see the bigger impact. So just to see that transform is very rewarding.
Now, so what are some of the common pitfalls that recruits might fall into during the application process, and how can they kind of get in front of that?
So some of the pitfalls that the recruits fall into is not being upfront. Mm-hmm. It's very important to disclose all that information to us ahead of time, because believe it or not, there is a way to overcome a great deal of issues that they may be facing. So the more that they're upfront, up hand, it just allows us to definitely get their process moving forward in a more proficient manner.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for those of you who don't know, recruiting is actually a special duty assignment. And so can you both speak about what your primary career field is and how that led you here, if it has helped you with your background in any way?
Absolutely. My primary career field was services. In services, I have four career fields in one. It was lodging, mortuary, fitness, and I work in a defect too as well. So with those career fields, they're very heavy in customer service. Mm-hmm. So in recruiting, you provide outstanding customer service to the civilian population. So my career field definitely allowed me to perform this duty.
For me, I started out in the Air Force as a traffic management specialist, and what we were responsible for, I like to consider that to be equivalent to UPS and FedEx of the Air Force. We're responsible for moving cargo from one place to another, but we're also responsible for moving military members' household goods from one location to another from whenever they're moving, going through their permanent change of station. So I definitely enjoyed traffic management, but I fell in love with recruiting.
Wow.
That's awesome. And everyone has kind of their own unique story of how they got into the Air Force and how it's kind of shaped their lives. What would you guys say is that story for you?
Well, for me, I live by this Maya Angelou quote. People may forget what you said, people may forget what you did, but they never forget the way you made them feel. I had an absolute wonderful recruiter who inspired me to live out my purpose. He knew that I wanted to go to college. He knew that I wanted to create a blueprint for my family. My mom rode on the airplane for the very first time due to me joining the Air Force. So therefore, when I told him my story, not only was I able to live it out within myself, I'm coming in with no degree. I now have 3 degrees. And I'm very, very proud of that. A cum laude graduate. I won a Woman of Achievement Award, first active duty woman to do that. But again, my inspiration was because I had someone who got below the iceberg, saw that in me, and inspired me to continue out my journey.
Wow.
For me, it's a great deal of what we do because we're charged with securing a nation's future, right? And that's important because I think we're all put in this world to serve and have that great impact. And so when you're tasked with something as such as ensuring that our freedoms remain intact, that's the big difference maker for me. And through taking care of that, I'm also being able to take care of my family. And that to me means the world over anything.
Well, yesterday we got a chance to talk to your skill bridge coordinator, Ms. Silva, here at JVSA, and she talked about the importance of federal service. And so what would you say is the importance of federal service? What does that look like to you?
When it comes to federal service, I just think it creates a different type of connection. It's allow us to show greater purpose, a connection with the general population, and it's just awesome. It's an awesome feeling whenever we're talking about federal service and being able to serve, give back.
Give back. That I too would say that the giving back aspect of it.
Yeah. Well, thank you both. Do you have anything else that you'd like to say to anyone that's coming out to the air show or maybe thinking about joining our Air Force?
Yes, I would like to say for anybody who's thinking about joining, definitely put aside any fears, any worries, and live within your purpose. Don't let anything hold you back. Aspire to be different and definitely be a trendsetter, create a blueprint, and we look forward to seeing you on this side.
Absolutely. No, I would just echoing those same sentiments. Definitely come join us. Come see your local recruiters, right? Because that's very important. Do not just rely on the information that you may see online. Come and see us directly because we definitely have the facts in order to give to you so you can make a sound decision.
And always aim high.
Beautiful, Indy. I couldn't have ended it better myself. Thank you both for joining us again. We appreciate it. All right. Well, we hope that you all are joining us this afternoon so you can enjoy the Thunderbirds here in a little bit as they prepare for their demonstrations.
Now, good morning. We're here interviewing all of our Fiesta ambassadors. Right now I'm joined by Tech Sergeant Amanda Alguesova. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing outstanding. Can you just start us off by introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about your journey?
Sure. I'm Technical Sergeant Amanda Alguesova. I'm from Boerne, Texas, so I'm a local. I joined the Air Force in 2012 as a physical therapy technician, and now I'm stationed at Randolph Air Force Base as the NCOIC of the Physical Therapy Clinic.
So how does it feel to be one of this year's Fiesta military ambassadors?
It is quite the honor. So for Air Force, we had to apply and then interview with command chiefs for the position. So we had some stiff competition. So again, quite the honor and just excited for the entire year. Well, I've been in San Antonio for a little over 2 years, and I've heard of Fiesta, but I've never really gotten to be a part of Fiesta, especially at this scale. So it's very exciting to just learn about the history, and being one of the military ambassadors is obviously a very big responsibility, but it's very exciting to get to immerse myself more into the San Antonio community.
Were you familiar at all with Fiesta before coming to San Antonio?
I was not. I don't even really fully understand what Fiesta is. With these events that we've been going to prior to Fiesta, I've kind of gotten to learn a little bit more from each organization and really learn about just how big of a deal it is to the community and all of the great things that Fiesta affords the community of San Antonio.
I didn't know anything about Texas, really. San Antonio, definitely not. You just kind of learn as you go, and so far it's been an awesome experience.
Now that you've learned a little bit more, what are you most excited for about Fiesta?
I keep repeating it, and every time I explain what Fiesta is to my mom, I think it's the people. It's meeting all these new people, all these new experiences that beforehand I never would have got to have. So just getting out and chatting with people, it has been the coolest and best experience for me.
So I think I'm most excited to just learn and be a part of all the events. I don't really know what goes on during Fiesta, so I'm just here for the ride and going to all the events. I've heard about the river parade where we go on the river, so I think that could be really interesting.
So, what is the role that you play as a military ambassador?
So as a military ambassador in San Antonio, it's already such a military-friendly town. I mean, it is called Military City. But I think as a military ambassador, it allows us to cultivate a relationship between the civilians and military even more than it already is. So I'm very grateful to get this opportunity.
So why is it so important for us to have military ambassadors at these large-scale events?
I think having ambassadors at events with the public creates inclusivity and brings support both from the community and the service and ties us together. So we're a public face that shows that we are supporting the community, representing the service.
It's really important to have the military there just to obviously show the history, where we've come from, how we've fought for this nation, and how we'll continue to fight for our freedoms for this nation.
Why is it important for service members individually to stay engaged in their community?
It's important to stay engaged in the community because this is why you joined, right? At the end of the day, you are a representation of America, and you need to hold yourself to that higher standard and be a part of that community and show the world that, hey, you're still relevant and you're fighting for that freedom every single day, and you're important to this society as an American.
So something that we say in the Coast Guard is you're always in blue. Basically, you always have that uniform on, whether you're at work or you're in your civilian life, which it's important to show those values of being in the military in your day-to-day activities.
I think it's important for us to actively engage in the community because we are moving every couple years, and I think it's important for us to make whichever city we're stationed in feel like home, and I think we could do that by immersing ourselves in the community. And I am so lucky that San Antonio has welcomed myself and my family with open arms, and so I think by involving ourselves back into the community, it's our way of giving back.
Thank you so much for joining us, ma'am. We're very excited to see you here in a couple weeks at Fiesta, and I hope you enjoy the air show.
Thank you.
Well, you just saw some of our Fiesta military ambassadors that we're going to see in the next coming weeks. Logan, how was that interviewing them?
Well, it was a very unique experience. Ahead of this Fiesta, we have some F-35s flying in the background. Very exciting.
Yep.
It's very exciting to see them ahead of this very unique experience. This will be my first time going to a Fiesta, and it's the same for a few of those military ambassadors. So just kind of seeing everyone's take on it, seeing what they were excited for, kind of got me a little bit more pumped up for it.
Well, I'm very excited too. Myself included, will be my first time this year. So hopefully everyone can kind of join us in that excitement. Well, we also see that the flight line is starting to bustle with excitement as the Thunderbirds are just minutes away from starting their show.
Now, we've had a unique experience to be here when they landed during their practice Friday and yesterday's performance. It just never seems to get old, seeing them roaring overhead, and it's even more exciting to see them perform for a crowd. The level of precision they fly with is just amazing.
So with that, we're going to take a short break before the Thunderbirds begin their performance at 3 p.m. So we'll see you right back here at Joint Base San Antonio-Randolph and here on the Facebook page in a little while so that you can get a live stream of what's going on up there with the Thunderbirds. Welcome back. I'm glad you got to see some of the exciting highlights that we had from yesterday's show. And we still have the Thunderbirds coming on to us at 3 p.m. today, so don't forget to miss that here at the live stream. Or if you're here at the Great Texas Air Show in person, we're so excited to have you. But in the meantime, we have a special treat for you. We want to show you the F-35 demo team and some other demonstrations that are happening right now. So let's take a look.
While you won't see everything that makes the F-35A Lightning II the most technologically advanced stealth fighter in their aircraft in the world, you will witness its raw power. And now, it's the moment you've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to stand up and get your cameras ready. I present to you the newest and most technologically advanced fifth-generation fighter aircraft in the world, your United States Air Force's F-35A Lightning II. The F-35 has a superior advantage in combat due to the adversary's reduced ability to detect the jet through the use of stealth technology. In order to remain covert, you must maintain a clean profile by carrying your missiles and bombs internally. With an internal payload capacity of over 6,000 pounds, the F-35A is the most lethal multi-role fighter jet in the world. If you ever wonder where those bombs and missiles hide, here is your answer. The F-35A possesses the capability to reach speeds 1.6 times the speed of sound, which equates to nearly 1,200 miles per hour. Today, we will showcase just a fraction of this engine's capability. Watch now as Captain Kluser accelerates to just below the speed of sound, covering an incredible 3 football fields per second. And if that wasn't impressive enough, she will then pull back on the stick and catapult the Lightning II from 300 feet to over 3 miles. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare for Freedom's Thunder on the High Speed Pass. In a dogfight, combat maneuverability is crucial. The Lightning II's advanced flight controls, combined with its powerful engine, give the F-35 an impressive 1,500-foot turn radius. As Captain Kluser approaches Show Center, she will light the afterburner and bank sharply, pressing her into the sea with up to 9 Gs, or 9 times the force of gravity. After completing the turn, the F-35 will power straight up into a vertical climb, and then quickly change direction, flipping end over end, in a maneuver we call the Lightning Loop. Coming in from your right, the Lightning II's combat radius turn. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Kluser has begun to reposition in preparation for the dedication pass. Captain Kluser and the rest of the F-35 demonstration team from the 388th Fighter Wing wish to dedicate this pass to the men and women from all branches of the armed forces and their families who are so bravely fighting today's joint fight. We would also like to remember our wounded warriors and veterans in attendance and those who have given their lives defending this great nation. This will be your best photo opportunity, so get your cameras ready to capture this salute. Now, from over your right shoulder, the F-35 demonstration team proudly presents the dedication pass. Captain Kluser will now demonstrate the Lightning II's crisp agility and handling. Notice that as she makes her approach, she is in the inverted position. As she reaches Show Center, she will complete a 360-degree roll and finish the pass inverted. Coming in from your left, Captain Kluser performing the inverted to inverted pass. The ability to maintain slow speed flight is crucial in combat. The potent combination of sophisticated flight controls coupled with the most powerful fighter engine ever built make it possible to reduce the F-35 speed to less than 100 knots. Coming in from your left, Captain Kluser will demonstrate the F-35's slow speed capability. And then just as she approaches show center, you will once again feel the raw power of the engine as she lights the afterburner and accelerates the aircraft into a near vertical climb. Don't look away yet. As Captain Kluser returns to show center, she will then accelerate rapidly and snap the F-35 through a series of aileron rolls to demonstrate the Lightning II's impressive roll maneuverability. Coming in from your right, Captain Kluser executing opposing rolls. As the most technologically advanced fighter aircraft in the world, the F-35's flight controls give our pilots a distinct advantage to outmaneuver their opponents. As Captain Kluser approaches show center, she will complete more than 135 degrees of heading change in just 3 seconds, slide the tail of the F-35 through the turn, and then powerfully climb out of the maneuver. Closing in from your left, ladies and gentlemen, the tactical pitch. We hope you enjoyed today's brief display of only a fraction of the F-35's full combat capability. If you thought we were done, don't look away yet. Captain Kluser's coming back to show center with a high speed pass. And now, for the final pass of the day, Captain Kluser is going to be coming in with the team favorite, tactical pitch. As Captain Kluser prepares to land, we would like to give a shout out to our expert maintenance team that made today's demonstration possible. Staff Sergeant Jacob Sackett from Benicia, California. Staff Sergeant Jesse Easley from Houston, Texas. Airman First Class Matthew Dooley from Phoenix, Arizona. And Staff Sergeant Basilio Godinez from Naples, Florida. As well as our team, Aircrew Flight Equipment Specialist, Senior Airman Samantha Jacks from Ogden, Utah, and our team Public Affairs Advisor, Staff Sergeant Zach Rufus from DeSoto, Texas. If you enjoyed today's performance, make sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at F35 Demo Team, and tag us in all your social media posts with hashtag F35 Demo Team.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the F-35 touches down on the runway, how about another huge round of applause for your United States Air Force Air Combat Command F-35 demo team. Great job, great job. Good to see you all again. We'll see you down the road. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited to have had the F-35 demo team here today. You'll see a few of our other performers beginning to maneuver around on their way in and out of the show, and we're going to continue with the next act here in just a minute. But you heard introduced earlier during the tour performance all the pyro team that was doing all of that activity during our close combat search and rescue demonstration as well as the tour demonstration. They're coming across the runway now.
Now, before we get to the Thunderbirds, we have another awesome act out here. It's a road drag car, and it's got a jet engine strapped to the back. Easy to say that's got quite a punch to it. Let's take a look.
Only one can emerge victorious, and a hard wingover out to the right and right back to work as the Fury as he comes diving down to show center. One more time, the Slayer defending himself as the Fury comes in for attack. What do you think of that, Texas? Fury goes up and over the top to get a better view of the Slayer's position. One more time, the Slayer tries to disguise itself to hide inside that fog. But the Fury is not fooled one bit, and he's right over the top of him one more time. Climbing high in frustration, now he's got him in his sights. Looking at nothing but Texas terra firma. Folks, there's only one way to decide this battle, and it's gonna be a race with the Fury from the air and the Slayer on the ground racing right back to show center. If you think the Slayer's gonna take the race, let me hear ya! If you think the Fury's gonna take it, let me hear ya! Well, folks, that was pretty even. We're about to find out. Both of these machines are incredible. Here we go! The Fury got an amazing lead, but the Slayer comes blazing back. What do you think about that? Looking at the clock, 312 miles per hour for the Slayer to overtake and defeat the Fury. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed this show. This is our inaugural air show for this particular act. Mark Smith has been performing in jet cars for over 24 years. Stephen Covington is a surface level rated aerobatic pilot for SRC air shows. Right now they're down there, they're going to recover the jet car. Stephen is going to bring the Fury down across the line. Get your cameras ready as he brings it down the show line for a photo pass. He has what is known in the air show world as a surface level waiver.
Absolutely. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate that very much. Well, we're about a minute away now, ladies and gentlemen, from handing the microphone over to the Thunderbirds. They're finishing some of their final pre-flight activities as they get ready to go. And we are going to hand the mic over here momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now my pleasure to hand the microphone over to Thunderbird number 8, the advanced pilot and announcer for the Thunderbirds, Major Bryce Turner. Sir, welcome aboard. Thanks for being here.
And we're back here live at Joint Base San Antonio-Randolph just moments before the Thunderbirds begin their demonstrations. You're about to see a full ground show followed by their legendary aerial act.
And what an incredible show they had. Yesterday's demonstration was so cool to see. The ground show was polished and the aerial act was just as awesome as you remember it. We can't wait for round 2. Let's take it to the flight line.
now. Canopies down, ready now.
afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Major Bryce Turner, Thunderbird 8, the team's advanced pilot and narrator from Yorktown, Virginia. It's great to be here at Joint Base San Antonio, and today I want to tell you about the Thunderbird mission, a demonstration of teamwork, dedication, and professionalism that mirrors that of your Air Force active duty, Guard, and Reserve personnel deployed around the globe. As our jets taxi out to begin today's demonstration, the Thunderbird crew chiefs are already preparing for their recovery. Let's watch as our maintenance professionals continue to demonstrate the same level of precision on the ground that you are about to witness in the sky. The Thunderbird team is comprised of proud professionals who are motivated by a passion for service and a commitment to excellence. It all started in 1953 with the F-84 Thunderjet. In just 6 days, the first Thunderbird team crafted a demonstration that would shape the future military jet demo teams for years to come. The Thunderbirds became the first supersonic-capable jet demo team in 1956 with the transition to the F-100 Super Sabre. In the early days, flying at supersonic speeds and creating a sonic boom was an accepted way to begin the demonstration. While supersonic speeds are now prohibited, the Thunderbird tradition of showcasing America's frontline fighter aircraft and representing the pride, precision, and professionalism of all of our 695,000 airmen continues today on the current team. With 31 different Air Force career fields, this team is a diverse group of exceptional airmen from all across this great nation who have committed to a mission greater than themselves. Each Thunderbird is filled with an intense passion, a sense of pride and purpose that represents the agile combat capability of your United States Air Force. The Thunderbirds have been showing Americans what our Air Force can do for over the past 71 years. Since 1953, not a single demonstration has been canceled due to a maintenance problem. Please join me in thanking the true heroes of our team and of the United States Air Force, our maintenance and support professionals. Right now, the pilots are completing some pre-flight checks at the end of the runway, and once they are ready, they will take to the skies. Soon, you'll hear Thunderbird 1 command the pilots to run up their engines as they accelerate down the runway from your right to your left. As the noses lift off the ground, look for our slot pilot, Major Jacob Pellizzari. He'll quickly move from the right wing into the slot position, forming the famous Thunderbird Diamond. Following the Diamond takeoff, our solos will perform the Mayhem takeoff. From the right, Thunderbird 6 will take off in maximum afterburner and execute an immediate 360-degree aileron roll at low altitude. After that, Thunderbird 5 will take off from your left to your right, immediately pull the nose 60 degrees into the vertical, perform a split S maneuver, reversing its course while still over the runway. Hang tight while we get ready to fire it up.
Thunderbird 1 is ready for takeoff. Runway 15 right.
Boss, winds are calm. You are clear for takeoff. Runway 15 right. It's showtime!
Thunderbird 1 is clear for takeoff. Runway 15 right. Thunderbirds, let's run them up. Stand by smoke. Smoke on ready now. Smoke off ready now. Thunderbirds release brakes ready now. Burners now.
And now San Antonio, stand tall as America's ambassadors in blue open with a tribute to the greatest nation on earth, America's own. Your 2024 United States Air Force Air Demonstration Squadron, known to all the world as the Thunderbirds! Thunderbirds! In 1954, the first solo pilot made their debut on the Thunderbirds, and in 1962, the opposing solo was added. Now check 6, and welcome our current solo pilots, Thunderbirds 5, Major Eric Tice, and Thunderbird 6, Major Jeff Downey, as they approach from behind and overhead to execute the ever-inspiring crossover break. Thunderbird fans, have your cameras ready for a picture of formation flying at its finest as the diamond is approaching from the right at a mere 18 inches apart from wingtip to canopy for your 2024 Diamond Pass in Review. Now watch from the left as our lead solo shows the historic Thunderbird emblem on the bottom of his aircraft with the knife edge pass. The original Thunderbird Diamond was led by Major Dick Catledge, with twin captains Buck and Bill Patillo as wingmen and Captain Kanaga as the slot pilot. Now look in front and to your left as the current Thunderbird Diamond maintains precise formation position in the diamond roll. As we fly for you today, we are proud to represent America's Air Force. We are the most lethal Air Force on the planet. Now look back to the right and find Thunderbirds 5 and 6 teamed up this time to create a mirror image in their trademark Calypso Pass. Ladies and gentlemen, the diamond is approaching over your left shoulder in the tight echelon formation. Watch as 1 becomes 4 with the echelon pass in review. Surprise, San Antonio. That was Thunderbird 6 sneaking up on you with the sound of freedom. Now look back to your left as our lead solo pilot, Major Eric Tice, maintains level flight while performing the challenging slow roll. Inbound from the right, Major Downey will demonstrate the extraordinary roll performance of the F-16 with 4 consecutive aileron rolls at low altitude. The diamond is now approaching from the right. This is a rare opportunity to go inside the cockpit of Thunderbird 1 as Lieutenant Colonel Nathan Malafa calls on the 4 diamond pilots to perform simultaneous aileron rolls in close formation.
Smoke off, ready now, and roll.
From your right, Major Tice, and from your left, Major Downey, inbound for show center at a closing speed of over 1,000 miles per hour. Before passing, they'll bank sharply, narrowly avoiding each other for the opposing knife edge pass. From in front and to your left, the diamond is in the trail formation, with each wingman flying just a few feet from the aircraft in front of them. On command, watch as they smoothly transition back to the Thunderbird Diamond. Our two solo pilots have positioned themselves on opposite ends of the show line to cross the show center for the inverted pass. A difficult maneuver, made even more challenging since Thunderbird 5 to your left is approaching upside down. Ladies and gentlemen, look to the right. It's the Diamond. Gear down, flaps down. Above them in hot pursuit, look for smoke. That's Major Tice closing in on over 500 miles per hour. Watch as he maneuvers his F-16 to intercept and overtake the Diamond directly in front of you. While the maneuvers you are watching today are in tight formation and at low altitude, they require the same level of concentration and discipline that every Air Force pilot must employ, whether flying combat missions over hostile territory or flying in support of humanitarian efforts in adverse conditions. Now watch as Thunderbird 5 completes his rejoin with the Diamond to perform the low bomb burst. Tice with one more surprise for you as he approached supersonic speeds. And while supersonic speeds are critical in chasing down the enemy, slow speed handling is just as important in aerial combat. Now look to your right and find Major Downey as he goes from low and slow to a full afterburner muscle climb. Now from the right, watch as Major Tice rejoins with the Diamond as this familiar formation approaches to perform the 5-card pass. Now, from the left, watch as Major Downey demonstrates the exceptional climbing performance of the F-16 as he climbs 3 miles straight up. Ladies and gentlemen, the Thunderbirds would like to dedicate this next pass, a horizontal heart, to all the families here today whose loved ones are deployed around the globe in the defense of our freedoms. From the left, Major Downey will demonstrate the raw power and tight turn performance of the F-16 with a maximum performance turn, followed by half Cuban 8. Look over your shoulder to the right for precision flying under G and feel the power of the Diamond Burner 360. As our two solo pilots, Thunderbirds 5 and 6, rejoin with the Diamond to form the Thunderbird Delta formation, we would like to take a moment to honor one of our fallen warriors, Chief Petty Officer Gary Ream Jr. He was assigned to the USS Fitzgerald, Yokosuka, Japan, and passed away on June 6, 2017, when his ship was struck by an off-course container ship. Chief Ream heroically assisted in rescuing multiple shipmates before he became unable to evacuate and tragically drowned. He paid the ultimate price for our country, and we fly today in honor of Gary and all of those who have given their lives in the defense of our freedom. Lieutenant Colonel Molafa will now reposition the Delta formation for the Delta roll. As you take time to watch the precision required to maneuver 6 F-16s as one formation, let that serve as a reminder of not just the teamwork, but also the dedication and commitment that makes our team and the United States Air Force the most capable and credible force on the planet. As the Delta soars above, we are proud to represent the 68,000 airmen who are deployed around the globe. While our airmen, guardians, Soldiers, sailors, coasties, and Marines risk their lives every day to fight for democracy. It is the families that stay behind who are the silent heroes of our military. Their sacrifices do not go unrecognized, and we thank every mom, dad, husband, wife, son, and daughter who support their deployed military member each day while they fight to keep our country the land of the free and the home of the brave. From the right, watch the formation of 6 F-16s precisely maneuver, showcasing teamwork at its finest for the Delta 360. As the Delta formation repositions for the Delta Burst, the flying skill and grace you see evolves from over 71 years of technical training and thousands of hours of practice and employment. Every Thunderbird who wears the Thunderbird uniform is a military member first, highly trained in a professional Air Force skill. As Airmen First, Thunderbirds use years of on-the-job training to provide consistent and credible global vigilance, global reach, and global power, giving a critical edge to today's joint warfighting and coalition teams. Wherever they have been before and wherever they go after their time on the team, the Thunderbirds are Airmen First and Airmen Always, faithfully and professionally representing their brothers and sisters in arms who are providing unrivaled air, space, and cyber dominance around the globe. Approaching from directly in front, your 2024 Thunderbirds and the inspirational Delta Burst. Our two solo pilots are approaching for their final high-speed head-on pass. As they cross at show center, watch for them to climb sharply, then reverse course in a split-S maneuver to cross again with a knife-edge pass. Let's go inside the cockpit and listen as they execute this breathtaking maneuver.
Solo,
those. Ready, hit it! Six on top 5-2, 300. Buzz on top 5-2, 285 is on the line. Gotcha, 5. Almost ready, hit it!
As our Thunderbirds prepare to land, we hope you found today's performance inspirational. It is the culmination of hundreds of hours of training and preparation, representing the unparalleled devotion to duty of every combat airman in your Air Force. We encourage those young people in the crowd today to dream big, choose integrity, to serve their communities and families, and surround themselves with excellence. As our F-16s come into land, we'd like to thank you for your continued support of the United States military and the Air Force. It has been our great honor to represent America's airmen with our performance today. The Thunderbird officers and enlisted representatives are planning on coming forward to sign some autographs and talk about the great opportunity that exists in today's Air Force. This will take place along the crowd line, directly in front of the jets. We hope you'll stick around. Give us the opportunity to meet you, sign some autographs, take some selfies, and let us answer any questions you may have about serving this great nation. Please visit us at airforce.com/Thunderbirds or follow us on social media at AF Thunderbirds. Now I'd like to take some time to recognize some of the men and women who made it happen.
What a fun weekend we've had here at Joint Base San Antonio-Randolph. We hope those of you at home enjoyed the live stream. And for those that came out, we hope you had a great time at the 2024 Great Texas Air Show.
Planning for the next air show starts this week. We don't take breaks. We're constantly improving and building on the past shows to make the latest and greatest and even better. We can't wait to see you at the next one. Goodbye for now. Howdy.